What's up? What it do? Welcome back to all my great beauties and boos. If you're new here, my name is Stacie the Great. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can become a part of the Great Transformation family and you can become one of my great beauties or boo. So today I'm back with part 3, day 3, episode 3, whatever you want to call it, to my transparency journey, blog, diary, whatever it is. But it's also going to be a little bit of other things that I'm going to be talking about as well. And not just that, it is going to be the last day of this episode. I decided to go ahead and make it a last day, which is why this vlog will also be longer. So I don't want to just hold y'all. I'm going to just go ahead and get right into the video. Okay, so normally I have like one topic to talk about, you know, on my little journey or whatever, but today I'm going to be talking about 4 different things. And the first thing is me talking about me being single. I'm single right now, single by choice. I am in a season of being single, being in waiting, whatever the case may be, but I'm not waiting in vain. I'm doing what God has led me to do. I'm focusing on what God has told me to focus on. So I don't even feel a sense of like loneliness or urgency to try to jump back into the dating world. I feel like God will let me know when it is time for me to get back into the dating world. Being single for me is also me just literally not even talking to nobody, like on no kind of level. I feel like for so long that I placed too much of an emphasis on having a relationship, and because I was just in such a hurry to be in a relationship, I would often accept things that I know that I shouldn't. I would oftentimes put myself in positions that I shouldn't, or I would just become a totally different person and I wasn't showing up as my authentic self. Because of that, I feel like I endured a lot of different things and went through a lot of different toxic relationships because of it, became a toxic person because of it. And I just really feel like God is just leading me to just focus on myself and becoming the best version of myself possible. I don't feel like God is leading me to date right now. I feel like he'll let me know. I'm single because I'm waiting on my husband. Like, a lot of people might feel like, oh, well, you're a single mom, you already, you know, damaged goods, you already done did this, that, and the third. But okay, so who are you to tell me that I can't wait on my husband, that I can't keep my legs closed to wait on my husband? Who are you to put that label on me? Because I've learned the value and worth of myself. And I know now that you can get connected with a person and it has nothing to do with the physical. Okay. So me being single on this journey is literally me working on myself. I watch self-help videos. I'm journaling. I'm praying. I'm praying to God for that community. So I'm involved in different groups that have different women that are like-minded, that are on the same wavelength as me. God is truly empowering me to really change the things in myself that at first I didn't ever even look at as an issue, or you know, if it was something that somebody else might have said and I didn't really just feel like they knew what they were talking about as it pertained to me, I might have started sitting down and just taking a real good look at myself. Like, I really feel like during this time in my single season in my 30s, I've really taken this thing more seriously than anything. I've really taken my walk with God more seriously than anything. My convictions, if I'm doing something that I feel like I've been praying about that I need to get away from, like, my conviction is stronger, my discernment is stronger. So me being single allows me to get tunnel vision to the things that I really need to focus on, instead of just having to put energy into myself, into my daughter, into another person. I just feel like the person that's meant for me is definitely gonna be just designed by God. Like, I'm not even gonna give a description of what I'm looking for or what I would desire in a partner, because I've already prayed to God about that, and I don't need somebody watching my channel that might be interested in me trying to, you know, pretend to be what it is that I say I'm interested in. Like, no, I ain't no fool. But I just know I was destined to be a wife, and God has really been equipping me with the power to just walk away, say no in a kind way, and just turn down things I know not me. Being single has really, like I said, strengthened my discernment. So when toxicity tries to introduce itself to me, or you know, like by introduce or toxicity trying to introduce themselves to me, I was meaning like guys that I know is not really trying to connect with me in no other form except trying to, you know, have me on my back. But my discernment is stronger. My discernment is so much more stronger. My willpower is like, I'm not desperate anymore. I'm not hard up anymore. It's like I would rather be single and by myself for however long I would need to be before I just put up with any and everything to say that I have something. I'm not about to do that. I will walk away or just not deal with it at all. Because of that very reason, I am being led to my husband, or I'm being positioned for my husband to actually find me. Because I'm not trying to find him. I'm just going to work on myself and focus on what God is telling me to focus on, and bump into him. You know, it's like, you know, that would be the one I'm like, okay, God definitely sent you over here, and that would definitely be a God-led relationship, no questions about it. So yeah, being single to me is not a curse. It never has been a curse. I just feel like now that I'm single and actually doing the work on myself, it has just really been an eye-opening journey, and I'm really learning a lot about me during this time. So single to me is just, it's a blessing, because I'm able to really focus on God and not be distracted. Like, being single no longer makes me feel lonely or bitter, or like I have to wait to do certain things before I gotta wait. I need a man to do this first, like, let me wait to do this because it'll look better with a man. Like, no, me and my baby can get up and go, or I can get up and go when she's not here type thing. Like, I am not waiting on a man anymore. Like, I'm not waiting on a man waiting on me, okay? He waiting on his blessing to arrive in his life, but we will be equally blessing each other's lives. It will not be taking from me, or me taking from him. We will be two fully healed, God-fearing led individuals, and when God see fit, he gonna send that man to me, or like I said, he's positioning me and lining me up to be there. Y'all, I'm so sick of this shirt or whatever. The bra just be doing what it be doing. But yeah, so that's about me being single. And the thing that I have to say about that, for anybody who's watching this and you're single and you're tired, you feel tired of waiting, then you're definitely doing your single season wrong. I feel like we spend a lot of time with other people. I've heard that on different podcasts that I listen to. We already spend a lot of our lives with other people, so why not enjoy being with yourself and spending time with yourself and really healing and just working on those different traumas? Like, fall in love with yourself. Like, when you really fall in love with yourself, you're not gonna look at being alone as a bad thing. Like, you're not. So, if you single, just definitely be working on your brain, your body, and your brand. Like, really be working on you. Don't just waste your time sitting there complaining and wondering why you don't have a man or a woman. Like, work on you. do the work on yourself and focus on the stuff that you're supposed to be focused on. And then that list that you have for them, that you want in them and you need in them, make sure you are that list. Make sure you are what you are asking for. That's what you can be working on in your single season. Like, seriously. I'll discuss more of that on another day. But I want to go ahead on and get into my next topic, which is topic 2. So I just talked about being single, how I feel about being single. So I'm going to talk about something that I deal with a lot, and that is fear. So fear for me, I deal with fear in the way of being afraid a lot of times to step out on faith, to just take big leaps, to sometimes to really truly trust God. But during this season, I'm learning that fear really has no place, serves no purpose in my life whatsoever. It cannot exist in my life whatsoever, because it's not going to be anything but a hindrance. Fear literally has no place in my life. Like, I have to make sure that I am shutting down that negative voice in my head, which to me, I feel like is a demonic spirit that's talking to me or trying to talk me out of doing the things that I feel God has placed on my heart, that God has led me to desire. I feel like once those negative voices start being louder than the positive voice, that is when that fear sets in, that, well, maybe I shouldn't move. Maybe I shouldn't take that job. Maybe I shouldn't really give this person a chance because they're going to turn out like this. Or I shouldn't, and those, you list all these different reasons of why you shouldn't do something or why you shouldn't take that leap. And all those reasons start to they start to sound so good to you, and you will begin to look at them as any excuse not to go ahead and do the things that is really laying on your heart to do. You will begin to find any excuse to just talk yourself out of things. Like, no, I'm not going to be able to do it. It didn't go right this time. It didn't go right that time. Like, what I'm learning is that fear literally will keep you from doing the very thing that is so needed and wanted in your life. And fear is of the devil, because if you don't do those things that's laying on your heart, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be stagnant, which means you're going to still be at the same level that you really don't want to be in, because you yourself feel it is more out there for you. And that's really me. That's really what I feel. Like, I know it's more out there for me. So I got to stop being afraid to just take a leap of faith. By taking a leap of faith, I'm putting my total trust in God. I'm putting every fear that I have, every worry, every piece of anxiety in God's hand. I'm saying, God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but I'm trusting that you did not bring this to me, or you did not put this in my life to just take it from me. I'm trusting that whatever it is you have in my life, it is going to be exactly or more than what I could ever have prayed for, or than what I could have ever imagined. And because of that, that is why I pray and I seek God. Or when that voice starts talking, I talk back to it, like, Satan, you can get deep behind me. You have no place in my life. I'm not going to be living in fear any longer. I want the things that God wants for me. I want the things that God wants for my daughter. I deserve those things. She deserves those things. We deserve those things. And I feel we can't get to those places or those levels if we live in fear. So by me really working on myself and really just evaluating, like, you know what, you will really talk yourself out of the very things that you actually desire, just to sit there and think about them constantly. You will talk yourself out of the things you actually desire. And how long are you going to live a life of mediocrity, of having a scarcity mindset, of telling yourself what you can't do when you fully know if you stop doing X, Y, and Z, you can make this work? how long are you really gonna keep living in fear? I'm not about to waste my 30s. Like, I feel I didn't waste my 20s. I learned a lot in my 20s. I went through a lot in my 20s, but I also settled. So what I'm not gonna do moving forward in my life is to settle when I know that is not what God designed for me to do, is to settle. God did not design us to settle. So no, it's not all about materialistic things. No, it's not. It's about the work you're doing. It's about, are you really doing God's work? Are you really living God's way? And He will bless you with those desires of your life. And that right there, to me, is enough to not live in fear. And it also definitely just leads me to the third topic. Before I get into segment 3 of this part 3, episode 3, day 3, transparency vlog, journey, diary, whatever you want to consider it, I just want to say thank you to all my supporters. Thank you to all of those of you who take the time out to subscribe, to like, and to just to watch my content. I really appreciate it. I'm not just some girl that just like looking at herself in a camera. I'm really trying to build my channel based off authenticity, transparency, and just life lessons. So you might see me sitting in front of the camera a lot of times. Bear with me. That is just what I'm being led to do right now. So thank you so much. Just want to go ahead and say that. And just be sure to give this video a big like, comment, definitely subscribe. So let me just go ahead and get into segment 3, because I don't want to hold so far I talked about my journey being single. I talked about fear, and like I was saying, all of these topics really align together. So segment 3 is definitely going to be about me obeying God and what that has really been like for me on my journey of following God. I ain't even gonna lie, like, obeying God has been hard. It has been hard because God told me to stop doing everything that I thought was fun. I'm like, but God, I like sex. I like drinking alcohol. I like smoking marijuana. I like doing this, you know, but God was like, you want to be on your purpose journey or not? You want to live out your purpose or not? You want these blessings I got in store for you or not? You want to really follow me or be over that way? Which one? Because you can't do both. So obeying God was something that took a lot of faith, trust, willpower. It is a daily walk every single day. And I know in one of my story time, whatever video, my a couple days in the life with me video, y'all seen me smoking, and that is really because that has been a struggle for me, because first of all, smoking marijuana wasn't even something that I just was into. It was something I started doing last year, thinking that it was gonna help me to get through life's problems. And at the time I was like, oh, I'm mad, I can smoke. I'm sad, I can smoke. I feel anxious, I can smoke. Whatever I felt, I would just roll up and smoke. And at the time I felt like it actually was helping, but I didn't realize it really wasn't doing anything except causing bondage. And it's been a struggle for me to quit it, but it's something that I just know I have to stop, something that I'm stopping, something that I can't do, something that is like, girl, just break up with it. And I'm open about the things God wanted me to stop doing, because I know those are things that really was taking my life down the wrong way. Having sex, because I was having all kind of sex. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I loved sex. Physical touch is my love language. So I'm like, well, Lord, you want me to go without my love language? And the Lord was like, that ain't your love language, girl. You full of lust, and you need to sit down and deal with it. Keep your legs closed, break them soul ties. And that's what I did. So Sex is something that I'm easily abstaining from. I don't even put myself in situations to go down that route. Drinking alcohol to the normal person is like, oh, I'm drinking it to just relax, and it's not a problem. However, it's only when you've been sitting here and you drunk a whole bottle of wine, a big bottle of wine, and the next thing you know, you're working on the next bottle of wine, and you're having a couple of glasses of wine every day and through the week, not even the weekend or whatever. So that becomes habit forming, and habits become addictions, especially if they're not healthy. Sometimes you can have some healthy addictions, but anywho, that is neither here nor there. But that is something that was hard for me too, because I wasn't really looking at it like a problem. I was like, well, I don't wake up drinking, so I'm not an alcoholic, or I'm not falling all over the place or whatever. But I'm like, but you are home alone, drinking a lot, drunk. What else could you be spending your time and money on? So me being transparent to speak about just a few things, that wasn't nothing but 3 of the things. Oh, and cursing. So God talked to me about that too. So you don't hear me cursing, and I was cursing for years. Like, it wasn't nothing for me to cuss. I could cuss you out real good, or I could just curse. And to me, I'm adding seasoning on the word, because I'm cussing. Like, and my favorite cuss word was the F word. Loved it. F this, F that, like, I don't give a F by nothing. Like, that was me. But during all of these changes actually occurred this year. So when I tell people my story, my journey, you have to understand that I only started taking it seriously this year. Seriously. So it was only in early February of 2021 when I walked out of a toxic relationship that I began to really take my faith seriously. See, I was raised in the church from 5 years old, and I was saved. I got saved. I think I got baptized a while ago. Some years ago, very, very long time ago. That's why I'm kind of up and down about whether I did or not, because it's been that long ago. But I was always raised in the church, so it was nothing for me to come back to Christ. But the way that I was coming to Christ, or I would be praying throughout the years, was nothing like it has been now. I was never praying with faith. I was just praying. I was never really truly changing my ways, my toxic ways. I just was skimming over it. But I've really been listening and obeying God and doing the work that it is that He is telling me to do. And even though that has been hard, He's just been rewarding me every step of the way. He has been literally positioning me where my mindset was telling me, you're alone. He had people in place that whether I didn't hear from people for a long time, people would still be checking in on me, still wanting to see, hey, how are you? My heart has been turned over to forgiveness of people. It has been turned over to ask and seek genuine forgiveness from other people. With me going to people, I now am the type of person that can admit her wrongs, that can speak about her past with no shame. And that is why I'm in front of this camera. I am obeying God. I am doing God's will. I am listening to what it is that He is telling me to do. Even though sometimes I can be hard-headed. It's like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, God is my Father. I can't go against my Father. I know that He knows the end result. See, that was another problem of following, God, is I have to relinquish my control. And I like to know what's going on and how it's going to go, Like, I'm a controlling type of person, and God revealed it to me. Like, girl, you can't control everything. You got to stop trying to control everything. You can't even control, everything that's going on in your life. So I really feel like during this season, I had to obey God, because it's like, when you ain't God, you don't know how this is going to turn out. God does. So put your faith in him and know that following God has never led you down the wrong way. It really ain't. It has been a journey, a up and down type of journey, but like I was saying, I see God in the midst of things. He blesses us abundantly, tremendously. He literally shows up at the right time. He literally shows me that whether I have a lot of money in my account or no money in my account, that he is going to make a way for my daughter and I. He literally shows up on time every single time. And the biggest thing I have been praying for since last year, and it has finally come, I am packing up our apartment. I know, if you guys actually watched this couple days in my life, you knew that I was torn between having to move back home because of babysitting. Well, I am moving, but moving out of this apartment into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. And my babysitter is still the same person. Like, I still love that regardless of the small little incident that happened or whatever. It was like nothing bad or anything. Me and her kept in communication or whatever, and my baby goes back to her. Shout out to her also. She's buying her home, her and her man. So congratulations to them. I'm very happy for them. My job has been very, very understanding throughout this entire process. With some days I've had to miss some work, you guys. And my job has just been truly, truly understanding with me and working with me. And like, the devil has been doing what he does even in the midst of this. But God has been so gracious and so good to us, y'all. So obeying him is rewarding. By me obeying God, and it's like, you know what? Let me not fake like I'm really obeying God. Let me not fake like I'm living for God and I'm living like this, I'm living like that. Let me be real with myself. Let me listen to these convictions. Let me obey what I'm hearing in my mind. God is really like, me obeying God and really genuinely obeying God, not pretending to obey God, not pretending to work on myself, not doing surface work, but actually being intentional, actually digging deep, actually doing the work that I need to do on myself. It has really just blessed me in a way that has really opened up doors for me that I couldn't imagine. Like, living in this complex, again, reference back to my video. You guys need to go and watch the couple days in the life with my daughter video so that you all can know what I'm talking about leading up to this moment. But basically, like, just being blessed and doing God's will has really opened up doors for me that I really didn't even imagine could be open. Like, I really didn't. This apartment complex and living in this apartment just started to feel like a prison to me. I felt boxed in here. It just really felt like a trap. I did not conform to my environment here. I never felt like my daughter and I are better than anybody. I just know this environment we were better than. We're better than hearing abuse being put on a woman. We're better than me having to call the police. We're better than, me being stalked. And we're better than guys being just hanging out in front of the complex all day, smoking, drinking, catcalling while I have my daughter, catcalling while I'm by myself, and I'm a single mom, not comfortable here. I kept praying. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, I was praying, crying, and fasting. Like, no, I was praying, crying, and believing, because, I fasted. I did fast. I fasted off social media a little bit. So, yeah, I did fast. But I fasted, and I was crying, praying. Like, Lord, I really want to be up out of this complex. I really want to put my daughter in a nicer place so she can see that even as a woman, whether there's not a man in the picture, you can still have the life that you deserve. You can still have nice things with prayer, doing the right thing in life, and God will just open up doors and bless you. So that's what I get for obeying God, and I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm really thankful for that, and it brings me to my fourth. So, yes, that is me obeying God, and in no way, shape, form, or fashion am I bragging about moving out of my apartment complex and moving into a different house. Like, I'm not. I'm very thankful, though, because I literally know what it's been like to live here. I literally know what it's like for my daughter to be hearing and experiencing things and crying and scared to be here. So I'm so thankful to God that I can eliminate that from her, and I can put her in a nicer home where she has her own bathroom. Like, cause seriously, like, October 2016 was my very first time, really moving out on my own, like, as a single mom. And here it is, October 2021, 5 years later, and we're moving into something. Literally, I remember moving into a income-based housing with very little furniture, no TVs, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and it has always been the type of apartment complex that I have lived in. So I've lived in 3 different apartment complexes, and just as a single mom, and it's always 2-bed, 1 bath, 2-bed, 1 bath. Small, walls thin, but it was enough. Like, it was ours. I made it ours. I made it a home for us, because it's, nobody could put us out unless I didn't pay the rent. But I always made sure if nothing else get paid, the rent is getting paid. We're going to always have somewhere to lay our head. So to looking at the then and to now, and knowing that God really put us in a very nice neighborhood, a very nice home. I'm just, you guys, so I'm gonna just go ahead on with segment 4 on this day 3, part 3, episode 3, whatever you want to call it, transparency journey, blog, diary, whatever the case may be. And that leads me to taking a social media break, and that's also a part of me obeying God, and being transparent about social media. So I just want to go ahead and talk a little bit about that, and then I'll just go ahead and end the video. So social media is like one of those things that can be good and bad, and I'm on like all type of platforms. If y'all can see in my description box, I do have a Twitter, but I'm definitely not even really active on Twitter like that. I have Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and I'm like heavily active on those platforms. Instagram not so much, maybe Snapchat not so much, not all the time. I use Snapchat to record. I don't know why, but yeah. But anyway, basically, social media to me can be like one of those things that it really does make you less productive on the things that you could be doing. And at the same time, it does lead you to look at different things and become inspired. But where I'm at right now in my life, I feel like I want to at least take a little bit of a social media break. So if you're going to be looking for some posts or whatever, I may still be posting on YouTube, strictly on YouTube. But my other social media platforms, I will be like taking a little break away from those. And you know, that's why you gotta be following me, you gotta be subscribed to me, so that way you can keep up, because I'll still be posting here if I'm led to post here, and if not, then you guys gonna see me when I pop back up. Of course, I'm not really sure if I want to do like an inside house tour or whatever, but because I feel like, you know, that is our blessing. I mean, y'all will be able to see around or whatever. I don't know if there's something I actually want to just do, because it's our blessing. It's not a public blessing. Like, just take my word for it and know that it's a big upgrade from where I'm at now. Anyway, back to what I'm talking about. Just a little social media break. I'm not going to say if y'all going to see me on here or not, because I don't want to make guarantees. But if you see me, support it. If you don't see me, support it. Know that I am good. I am okay. I'm just doing what I feel is needed and best right now. I encourage you all to take a little social media break, to get productive, to do what it is that God is calling for you to do, to put your phone down, to really get in the moment and, you know, do what you're supposed to be doing. Do your work. Do your work on yourself. Like, social media don't be there. You can always look back on what's being posted. It's gonna be there, but time is not on your side. Get out there, do what you're supposed to be doing. People try to keep up with you too much on social media anyway, so it's a good thing to just take a little bit of break away sometimes. I'm just saying. You made it to the end. This is the end of my transparency vlog. This is it. You done been sitting here watching me sit up here and run my mouth about different things. Maybe you done learned something, maybe you haven't. Maybe you feel like the whole thing was a waste of time. Maybe it was boring to you. Maybe it was the best thing you ever watched and you ready for some more. I don't know. You didn't comment, so I don't know how you feel about the video. I produced it. Like I said, I did my part. I'm producing the videos. Y'all just gotta stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm up here in this location, but the next time y'all see me in a video, it'll be a totally different one. But you ain't gonna know if you're not subscribed. So I thank you. I thank you for watching. I don't know what you came here for, but I thank you for coming anyway. And just stay tuned for more. That's it, and that's all.